live. Yes. Welcome back. Welcome back to another edition. Toward the end of the week edition of Whiskey and Walks. Of course, coming at you tonight from our hillside retreat in northeast Los Angeles, the northeast boroughs of LA, our humble abode, in view of, what else can I say, the beautiful hills and trees and all that wonderful shit that we're surrounded by. Another day in paradise, man. Another day in paradise, as they say. Well, enough about that. It's really about the Mets tonight. The amazing Mets have agreed to acquire center fielder Luis Robert Jr. from the Chicago White Sox for infielder Luisangel Acuna and right-handed pitcher Truman Pauley. The Mets were desperate to add an outfielder heading into 26. They only had 3 outfielders, as a matter of fact, on their 40-man roster. It's interesting to note that Robert is actually the 5th center fielder that David Stearns has acquired in 2+ years as the Mets GM. The Mets, as a matter of fact, were interested in him at the trade deadline last July, but added Cedric Mullins instead, and that really didn't work out for either party. Mullins nor the Mets succeeded at that venture after that transaction. The thing about Robert is he complements Juan Soto, in the outfield, and the Mets have Taylor, Benji, and maybe Brett Beatty in competition now for playing time in left field. So we'll see if they go ahead and acquire a new left fielder and to solidify that, although they apparently want to give Benji a chance during spring training to earn that spot. So we'll see how that plays out for them in left field. Robert Jr. has only posted, as a matter of fact, in 85 OPS plus over the last 2 seasons. Below average. His offensive reputation actually squares mostly on his prodigious 2023 season, during which he hit 38 home runs in 145 games. But the 2023 season was, interestingly to know, the only season during which he played enough to qualify for a batting title. So he's been definitely hampered by injuries the past 2 years, and you can account for perhaps at least part of his decline in production due to him not feeling very good. So, interesting to know. The Mets have gone ahead and signed Luis Robert Jr. How do you all feel about that? Me personally, I think it's freaking cool, man. The Mets have totally revamped the roster after having the second highest payroll last season, and they're shredding it up and turning it into something else, kind of basically like a video game GM would do, with maybe a third of the MLB roster now turned over compared to last year. So, interesting things going on in Queens, in the borough of Queens, New York. And I'm going to keep an eye on that team, and we're going to talk about them more in the next episode. So enjoy your evening, y'all, or your morning or afternoon, whenever you happen to be streaming this. Okay, adios. Bye-bye.